morning. You guys can be seated. Welcome to the 2024 Bachelor of Science of Nursing pinning ceremony. For any of you that are a nurse, this is the ceremony that you will remember the most. This afternoon, you'll remember as well, but this morning, the opportunity for someone who is already a nurse to be able to welcome you and invite you into the ministry of nursing is something that is powerful. I remember sitting in a church like this 20 years ago, watching my wife, who was then my girlfriend, being pinned by her mother. And then a few years ago, watching her at this very ceremony, being able to pin one of our nurses. And so I hope that you enjoy this ceremony, that you remember it, but most of all, that you feel that sense of calling, that you will go and extend the ministry healing of Jesus. I'd like to thank each one of you for coming today. Parents, I'm sure that there are many tissues if you need a few more. Spouses, significant others, friends and families, this has been a journey of support, a journey of laughter, a journey of crying, but today, a celebration. So thank you so much for coming. It's our pleasure on behalf of Kettering College and the Division of Nursing to welcome you. Before we start, just a couple of information points or housekeeping items. We know this is a celebratory time, but please refrain from doing any cartwheels or those things and loud noises. We are live streaming, so we want our people online to be able to hear as well. If you wouldn't mind, everyone now look down at your cell phone, make sure it's on silent mode, just so that, again, we can keep everyone being able to hear. We would ask that you not do any flash photography, including each one of our graduates, our nursing students, will have a professional photo that they will have when they get pinned. If you'd like to recreate that after the ceremony is over, you are more than welcome to do that. Each one of you graduates are going to receive a flower and a gift from Jen Scholl, our Chief Nursing Officer of Kettering Health. And at the end of the service, if you would, please remain seated as our nursing students, our faculty, and our staff walk out. If you wouldn't mind, please bow your heads as we pray and start this ceremony. Lord, we thank you so much for being with us, for guiding us in this journey. Lord, first of all, we thank you for each one of these nursing students who have started and persisted and will be graduating, but Lord, have felt the calling of nursing, the ministry of nursing, and today we'll go through a ceremony that will be memorable because they are taking a calling to serve others in this career of nursing. Lord, we thank you for Kettering College and the opportunity to uphold you and to make service a life calling. And Lord, today as we go through this ceremony, may it be pleasing and honorable to you. We ask these things in your name. Amen.
Good morning. It is my pleasure today to present Anna Mae Vaughn Nursing Excellence Award. The recipient of this award is usually somebody that is trustworthy, innovative, caring, competent, collaborative. In addition, this person has a passion for transformation of lives through education, research, and or practice, vision for improvement of future nursing, and also nursing education, a humanitarian who exhibits compassion towards anyone in need, which includes students, her brothers and sisters in the mission field. If I speak too much about this person that meets all of this, I'm gonna get tears. This is somebody that came and bathed me when I was in bed with fractures. She has baked breads for her neighbors. She has taken clothes for the homeless. She wrote a whole entire curriculum for the RN to BSN, and she just was instrumental in rewriting our mission. The Anna Mae Vaughn Award, Excellence Award goes to Adelaide Durkin.
morning. I'm Paula Reams, the Dean of Nursing, and I'm going to present the DAISY Award, which also goes to a faculty member. The DAISY Foundation was established in 1999 in honor of Patrick Barnes. Patrick passed away from an autoimmune disease at a young age. His family members wanted to memorialize his final weeks in a positive way. They decided on the anachronism DAISY, which stands for Diseases Attacking the Immune System. During Patrick's 8-week illness, he held on for extraordinary means with extraordinary nurses. The family then created the DAISY Award to honor nurses who go above and beyond to make differences in people's lives. This year, several nominations came in for one particular faculty member. One student had this to say, "She is an awesome professor. I have never had a teacher in my life that went out of her way for more and spent more free time to help her students understand the information than her. She is also such a light. She always had a smile on her face. More teachers need to be like her." This year's DAISY Award goes to Dr. Ashley Barnett.
It is my privilege to present the Nightingale Award. Everyone knows who Florence Nightingale was, or at least who they believe Florence Nightingale was. One of the things that is most important about Florence is that she was visionary. She had a plan for how the world could be better as a result of service. And so in her speech that she created, she said that we should practice our profession faithfully, that we should elevate the standard of our profession, that we should devote ourselves to the welfare of those committed to our care. And the people that are recipients of the Nightingale Award are those who do exemplify those very service-oriented focus that Florence had envisioned. We want them to also have furthered the mission and values of Kettering College Division of Nursing. So the person that we are honoring today is Carol Warner. Carol, would you please come up? Carol exemplifies these characteristics that define the Nightingale Award. Like the award's namesake, she has practiced her profession faithfully, first as an LPN, then as an RN, and as a professor of nursing at Kettering College. She devoted herself to the welfare of those in her care. She is well known for teaching mental health nursing for many years, but her office was better known to the students as an oasis if you ever needed to talk. She also elevated the standard of the profession by providing a scholarship for nursing students at Kettering College and by preparing students for the world of healthcare. Her goal was that every student who wanted to become a nurse could reach that goal. She was deeply committed to the mission, values, and goals of Kettering College and the Division of Nursing. When she retired from the Division of Nursing, she transferred to academic support, so the definition of retiring was a little loose. Where she provided expert guidance on how to think like a nurse when studying, writing care plans, and answering answering test questions. And for myself, years and years ago when I was an undergraduate student, she was my mentor on care planning. So I am very honored to present the Nightingale Award to Ms. Carol Warner.
Each year, students are given the opportunity to recognize their peers. I will be presenting the Professional Nursing Peer Award. The recipient must consistently demonstrate compassionate care, strong ethical values, lifelong learning, accountability, responsibility, flexibility, teamwork, and collaboration. The recipient for Professional Nursing Award is Carly Lawson.
Hello, good morning. I will be presenting the Christian Caring Peer Award. The recipient must demonstrate the following qualities: provides nursing care in the tradition of the Master Healer, values individuals as person made in God's image, gives compassionate care as a response to the understanding God's love and grace towards humanity, fosters optimum health, restoration and quality of life in suffering and dying, and provides service in which God's divine spirit is revealed. The recipient for the Christian Caring Award is Hannah Newcomer. I will also be presenting the Nursing Leadership Award. The recipient must demonstrate excellent leadership abilities, dedicated to learning, and willing to help others. The recipient for the Nursing Leadership Award is Brandy Ablay.
For the past 2 years, I've had the privilege to be the faculty counselor for the Sigma Theta Tau Zeta Phi chapter at large for Kettering College. Every year, we have a small award, a scholarship, recognizing students for their scholarship and for their application. So they acknowledge students that are self-nominated with a one-page, single-space type essay clearly explaining how they have demonstrated all the tenets of Sigma Theta Tau throughout their nursing program. The tenets include the pursuit of excellence in clinical practice, education, research, leadership. So those applications also require endorsement by 2 professors. These applications are submitted to the chapter leadership for a vote. The student's name is erased from their essay, so there's a fair-based choice on faculty recommendations as well. This year, the student receiving the Sigma Education Award is Shanisa Shafiq.
Is it a little surreal? So my name is Jennifer Shull, and it is my privilege and pleasure to serve as the Chief Nursing Executive for Kettering Health. And on behalf of our clinical leaders and our 4,000 nurses at Kettering Health, thank you for choosing nursing. Thank you for answering the call to care. And I also want to thank you for the difference you all have made as you have cared for patients during your clinicals at any of our hospitals. So this morning, I have the privilege of awarding our Called to Care Award. So each year, Kettering Health has the privilege of giving one of you who have demonstrated the values of Kettering Health. And it's my pleasure this morning to share with you what those characteristics and values are that have been recognized in one of you. So this individual has demonstrated a commitment to provide exceptional care for every patient, every time, everywhere, exhibits knowledge and skill and an understanding that it's about the whole patient, not just the diagnosis that brings them through our doors, but the entire person. This individual has demonstrated a character of compassion, respect, and integrity, and values the sacred calling that nursing is. It is my honor to award a lovely plaque and a $500 token of our gratitude to Miss Rachel Conte.
Hello, I will be reading a scripture for you. Matthew 5:16, let your light so shine before men that they may see your good works and glorify your Father in heaven.
Hello. I have the honor of introducing our speaker this morning. Dr. Terry Rosamond Moore is an administrative nursing director, nurse, executive with Kettering Health with a passion for sacred work, including exceptional patient and family experiences and professional nursing practice. In addition to her work in the acute care hospital environment, Terry worked at the county level as a community nurse, including as coordinator and research assistant of the National Institute of Health Community Public Health Diabetes Research Project. Through the University of Michigan and at the state level, she worked as a reviewer and consultant for Michigan Department of Community Health Diabetes Session. Terry earned her Bachelor of Science nursing degree from Andrews University with a healthcare focus from Western Michigan University, Kalamazoo, Michigan. She started her DMP with Capella University. Terry was inducted into the Sigma Theta Tau International, the Honor Society of Nursing, in 1995, and into the Pi Alpha Alpha, the National Honor Society of Public Affairs and Administration, in April 2002. The National Honor in 2002 and holds memberships in both the American Association of Nurse Executives and Sigma Theta Tau International. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Terry Rosamond Moore.
Thank you. I appreciate that. May I have my slides? Students, or should I say future nurses, families and friends, President Brandstatter, Dr. Paula Reams, faculty and staff, Dr. Jen Scholl, fellow nurses. I am delighted that you invited me today to be a part of your procession. Thank you. All right. Let us see how this works. Other direction. Don't want to turn it off. Here we go. I am really delighted to be here today. And as the young lady read, our scripture reading is from Matthew 5:16. Let your light so shine before men that they may see your good works and glorify your Father who is in heaven. I am proud to be a nurse. I have been a nurse for 33 years, and it has been an amazing journey. And it is one of the deep passions of my life. About 8 months into my nursing career, I received, myself along with many of the nurses that I work with, I was working as a public health community nurse at the time, many of us received an email from the chief nurse officer asking which of us would like to be the coordinator of the diabetes program. And I had done research on diabetes because my father had recently been diagnosed. So I sent an email and I said, tell me more about it. 2 weeks after that, my boss called me into her office and said, you are it. And I'm thinking, I am it what? And then she said I was the only person who responded to her request for someone to run the program. So it was my job to do that. But that simple question of saying, or that statement of saying, tell me more about it, led to some amazing things in my life. I had an opportunity to work with the state of Michigan in their diabetes program. I had an opportunity to work with the University of Michigan, with the CDC, and with the National Institute of Health. I didn't think that just saying, tell me more about it, would lead to some amazing collaborations and networking, but it certainly did. I took on that challenge, and as a result of that, in 3 years out of nursing school, I was actually hired by the state of Michigan as one of their reviewers and consultants in their diabetes program. Simply taking on that challenge led me to nursing leadership. I stood up and stood out as a result of that as a young nurse, and I was able to do some amazing things. Why am I telling you all of this about myself? To ask you a simple question. In the throng of greater than 3 million nurses in the United States, how are you going to stand out when you take your boards and you join the ranks of nursing? That is something I want you to think about. How are you going to stand out? There are about 1,200 nurses on the main campus here at Kettering Health. There are about, as our chief nurse executive said, about 4,000 of us in the network, but about 12,000 across the street. And I am going to tell you about 3 of those nurses who actually stood up and they stand out. I got a call from the manager of the oncology unit, and she said, you have to come up to the unit. I want to show you something. I got up to the unit and she introduced me to Vanessa. She said Vanessa was a great nurse who did amazing work with her patients. And what she told me was Vanessa had been collecting the bottle stoppers from the top of the vaccination bottle caps, and she had been saving them. And her fellow nursing students, when she was in nursing school, she started this. And her fellow nursing students and nurses had been helping her collect them. They thought she was crazy for doing that because they had no idea why she was collecting these stoppers. But let me tell you what she did with them. Cast your eyes up here. Vanessa was creating ribbons. You know that in cancer oncology, different color ribbons represent different types of cancers. Pink for breast cancer, brown for colon cancer, etc. So Vanessa created these amazing ribbons. The ribbon on your right was the first ribbon that she created, and it sits today on the nursing unit over at Kettering main campus. When she showed me this ribbon, I ordered a shadow box for that ribbon and I placed it in the shadow box. And when you walk on the unit, it's one of the first things that you see. Why was Vanessa so passionate about creating something that would be lasting? Her mom, the day after Vanessa graduated from nursing school, her mom died of stage 4 colon cancer. She thought that her mom just survived long enough to see her graduate from nursing school. And her grandfather died the day after her mom died from lung cancer. So Vanessa was truly bought in to making sure that patients with cancer had the best care possible. The ribbon on your left, when Vanessa left our 3 South unit and went to work at the cancer center over the street, she created a second ribbon. And she did this in honor of her parents, of her mother, her grandfather, and also all patients that undergo a diagnosis of cancer. Vanessa stood out simply because she was creative and innovative. If you look at the picture, this is Vanessa explaining to the then chief nurse officer and the president of the hospital her concept for creating the ribbon. She truly is a phenomenal nurse who stood out and continues to stand out. So let me tell you about Diana. Diana happens to be sitting right here in the audience. She's actually an instructor at your college and one of the nurses that I'm extremely proud of. Diana was assigned Mr. Tulip, and this is a false name, of course. She had been his nurse throughout the day and realized that there was an aura of sadness about him. And about 10:50, she realized that he was getting really anxious, and she asked him about it. Is there anything that I can do to help you? And he told her that that day was the day that his wife had died 2 years prior, and the time was coming, the exact time was approaching of her death, which was 11:30 that night. And he told her that he always had very difficulties getting through that day. Remember, this was about 10:50 now. So about 11:05, Diana went into the room next to, with Mr. Tulip and the oncoming nurse, because she was the day shift nurse, to do bedside shift report. That is something that we do with each patient. At the end of the shift, we go through what occurred that day so that the oncoming nurse would have a sense of where that patient stood. But guess what? Diana clocked out, and about 11:25, Diana walked back into his room. And here is what he said. She had signed off her shift, and she had gone back in to pray with him. Mr. Tulip stated it was the most moving, beautiful, calming prayer he had ever heard, and it got him through past 11:30. He said Diana stayed with him until after midnight, when it was no longer the day that his wife had died. Isn't that amazing, guys? Think about it. Diana could have just picked up her bag, clocked out, and go on her way home. She has young kids. I know her family a little bit. She has young kids. She could have left. But instead, she thought of this patient and what he was going through, and she went back and she prayed with him, and she stayed with him until past the day that his wife, at the time that his wife had died. After he was discharged, he called the hospital and he recognized Diana for a Daisy Award that you just heard and saw being awarded. And he said if Diana was awarded, he would come and be present. She was, and he did. And after the award was presented to Diana, Mr. Tulip pulled out a little black box out of his pocket, and he awarded it to Diana. It was his wife's pearls that he had bought her. And he could have given those pearls to anyone else, one of his daughters. But he was so touched by what Diana had done for him that he gave her his wife's pearls. Isn't that amazing? Diana stood out because of just thinking of him as a person in the bed. She looked past that and she saw his need. the pain that he was in, and holistically, she looked at what that was and she catered to him. Yes, she took care of his physical needs. She also took care of his emotional needs. All right, so let me tell you about Erica, the third nurse. Erica did something that seemed small, but it was truly significant. She recognized the tattoo on the arm of one of her patients who was in comfort care. He was actually dying, and she wanted to provide a sense of kindness to his family. So she asked his wife if he was a veteran. The wife said yes, he was a Vietnam veteran. So Erica called her husband and asked her husband to purchase an American flag and bring it to her workplace. He did, and she took that flag and she spread it over that veteran. When he passed away, she folded that flag and she gave it to his family. That simple act of kindness has resulted in a program now at Kettering Health. What the organization did at the main campus, and I'm not sure if it's across the network, but at the main campus, every veteran who dies, the family receives a flag. By a simple act of kindness, there is now a new tradition. One of the wonderful things that happened is that someone recommended Erica for a Hometown Hero Award. She was awarded the Hometown Hero Award, appeared on the television, the local news, and now as a result of her kindness, she is a hometown hero. But her legacy, because the flag is now a tradition at the hospital, her legacy will live on forever. All three of these nurses, Vanessa, Diana, and Diana, would you stand just for a moment? I know you're the only person here, but there she is. Would you give her a round of applause? These three nurses let their light shine and they find joy in providing care for their patients. Ephesians 6:7 says, serve wholeheartedly as if you were serving the Lord, not people. And Ecclesiastes 9:10 says, whatever your hands find to do, do it with all your might. When opportunity comes your way, and I'm speaking now to our fellow nurses, when opportunity comes your way, stand up and stand out. You never know what accepting the responsibility or a project, where that will lead you. It could lead to some amazing things, as it did all of us. You might be fresh out of nursing school, but stand up, stand out, be excellent in everything that you do. Go the extra mile, volunteer for projects. For 22 consecutive years, the Gallup poll ranked nurses #1 in the nation as the most trusted profession in the US in honesty and ethical standards. And as you prepare to take your boards, I challenge you to uphold this legacy. As a Christian nurse, you are God's hands, his feet, his eyes, his ears, and most of all, you are God's heart. So it is through excellence that we portray Christ in all that we do. We stand out by the way that we treat our patients, and we are recognized by our colleagues. But most of all, God sees us. So let me commission you today to stand up for Christ, and you will stand out in everything that you do. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Shanisa. I am blessed and honored to be able to speak on behalf of the summer graduating class of 2024 at our nursing pinning ceremony today. I want to start by saying congratulations to my fellow colleagues and I for making it to the finish line. We finally made it. Give yourselves a round of applause. Oh, how it feels good to be done. I'm sure I'm not the only one who thought this nursing program was one of the most challenging yet life-changing experiences I've ever encountered. If you're anything like me, you would have thought this day would have never come. We were put to the test countless times through our coursework, exams, simulation labs, checkoffs, clinicals, and let me not forget about HESI. Although these past years were a challenge, I can say how much of an impact the program has made on us. It has prepared us academically and professionally to work in one of the most demanding fields of work. We are equipped with the knowledge and skill set needed to execute this calling with the help of some of the greatest instructors I've ever met. Without the help of the faculty here at Kettering College, none of this would be possible. So I want to take a moment to specifically thank the instructors for believing in us, continuing to show up, providing unwavering support, and pushing us to be the best that we can be. There was not one time where I felt like the instructors did not want us to succeed. I never said they weren't hard on us, but I know it all came from a genuine place and wanting to see us perform at our very best. They have paved the way for us to be here today and have set an excellent example of what a great nurse is. We can't thank you all enough, and trust me, nothing has gone unnoticed for what you all have done for us. I remember during the beginning of our first med-surg course, the instructors were very innovative in their styles of teaching. So innovative that we were throwing beach balls across the classroom to answer questions we were so clueless about. I'm sure if you were to ask those same questions today, we could answer them in our sleep. But that's besides the point. The point is that they always tried different ways to make our learning experiences fun, and also that we were throwing beach balls across the classroom during a winter semester. But it's acceptable because we're here in Ohio. And if you don't know by now that Ohio's weather is unpredictable, let me give you an example. During one of our exams, our tornado siren began to sound, and we're all looking around the room confused, but still silent because we were in the middle of testing. We're looking at our professors for instructions on what to do next, but they're looking right back at us just as confused. Ultimately, we had to shut down our computers and go to the lower level of the building to take cover. Thankfully, no tornado came, so eventually we had to retake our exam. But even in the midst of all of the chaos it caused, we still somehow managed to get through it all. Talk about stress. The program was filled with numerous stressful moments, but with the help of one another, our instructors, the staff, our support dog Ryder, co-workers, church members, family members, and friends, we survived. They always say it takes a village. We can never forget about all the refreshments offered and activities planned by the college and even the hospital. We formally thank Student Affairs for always providing us with the sweet treats, as well as the Student Life Coordinator for arranging fun activities to take our minds off of our workload. Being able to attend events was a key memory for many students. We also want to acknowledge the audience. We cannot thank you enough for the support that you've given us throughout this difficult journey. You've seen the hard work and dedication we put into this. So as you celebrate your students sitting here today, celebrate yourselves. Remember that this has been a long journey for each and every one of us, filled with the highs and the lows, smiles and tears, celebrations and disappointments. Many of us even had to make sacrifices in our personal lives for us to accomplish this milestone. Finally, one thing I would like to say about this class of 2024 is that I love the support that we have given one another as we navigated through this experience together. Just know, with this class, there was always going to be someone there to catch you if you were falling. This program has helped to build friendships that will last a lifetime. We have been through many trials and tribulations together as a class. It's a bittersweet moment to have to say goodbye to the people we saw every day for the past 3 years. It brings tears to our eyes, but joys to our hearts to know that we finally made it through and can now be the great nurses we are destined to be. I am so proud of us. It was a pleasure meeting and getting to know you all. Continue being the smart and confident individual you are, and always remember, keep God first.
We'll now proceed with the important part of pinning. I'll be doing the roll call for the BSNP students, and LPN to BSNP. So, pinners, be on your guards as I speak the names. And I promise not to cry this time, okay? Tanner Bundy, McKenna Walters. Tanner has taken a job at Catherine's main campus emergency department. She plans to go back to school in the future to become a nurse practitioner. McKenna has accepted a position at a labor and delivery unit, so her future plans are to learn as much as she can in this area and become the best nurse she can be. She would like to thank her family and friends and her boyfriend. Brianna Garcia and Danielle Robinson. Brianna's future plans is to become a flight nurse and transport nurse. She wants to thank God, her family and close friends who always gave her positive and encouraging words to do her best. Mom and Dad, thank you for believing in me and giving me everything that I ever needed and more. Danielle, after graduation, will be working as a nurse on 5 North ICU step-down unit. She would like to thank her parents for their constant guidance and encouragement. She's grateful to have you as her parents. She would also like to say thank you to her fiancé for all the time and effort you have put into helping me become the best version of me. I'm so thankful for you. Carly Sierra Wasson. Diana Tuti Kalalo. Carly has accepted a job as a float nurse at Dayton Children's. One day she would love to further her career by becoming an educator or a clinical instructor. She loves to teach and train, so this will be her 2 dream jobs merged together. Carly would like to thank all the nurses in her life that inspired her to pursue this career, with special thanks to her mother, Cheryl, and her sister, Mackenzie Wasson. Also, she couldn't have gotten through this journey without her biggest supporter, her dog, Ryder. For letting her practice head-to-toe assessments on him to bring everyone joy at the college. He was there through it all. And he's a therapy dog, if you don't know. Diana plans to work in the NICU neonatal intensive care unit in Northern California. Madeline Scout Little. Kiana Michelle Kreitzer. Maddie will be continuing her nursing career on the pulmonary unit within Catherine Health Network. She would like to thank her family for pushing her to achieve her goals and supporting her. Kiana is excited to continue her career at Dayton Children's as an RN this summer. She hopes to one day serve as a clinical instructor or educator to instill confidence in new nurses to promote their success in the pediatric world. She would like to thank her family for always believing in her, pushing her to be her best. She would also like to thank specifically her father for teaching her the importance of hard work and dedication. His sacrifices did not go unnoticed, and she owes so much of her success to him. Caitlin Mazurek. Heather Monique Joseph. Emily Renee Landis. Caitlin will be working in the emergency department at Miami Valley Hospital. She would like to thank her parents, grandparents, sister, and Lucy for always supporting me and helping me get through school. Heather plans to work in the nursing field to gain experience and possibly obtain a master's degree. I need to check that I'm on the right page here. Emily Renee Landis. No, I'm not in the right page. Sorry, guys. Hillary Hoyne, Delaney King. Hillary plans to work in the emergency department at Kettering, Maine. She plans to further her education and do TNCC and CEN. Delaney plans to start at Miami Valley Hospital as a labor and delivery RN. Shanisa Monet Shafiq. Hannah Abner. Shanisa's future goals are to become the best nurse to her ability. She hopes to eventually further her career and make a positive impact into the healthcare field. She'd like to thank God, her family, peers, and instructors for helping her through this life-changing journey. Hannah plans to work in critical care or emergency nursing. John Young Hartins and Madison McFadden. John Young has accepted a position at MSICU at Kettering Medical Center and plans to achieve a master's degree in nursing. This was possible because of her supporting and loving family. She would like to thank her husband and daughter who made it possible for her to be here this day. Madison, thank you all for her family and friends, and Madison plans to work at Kettering Health Network and go back to get her master's degree. Adi Fritz. Adi plans to do missionary work abroad as an RN and eventually further her education to become a teacher. She is grateful for her support system, who has been alongside her during this journey. She wouldn't be here today without them. Sydney, Heather Monique Joseph. Heather plans to work in the nursing field to gain experience and possibly obtain a master's degree. Leave it to me, right? Sydney Onspa. Savannah Catherine Holson. Sydney will be starting her career as a bedside nurse on a step-down unit. Thank you to her parents and family for the continued support through her journey at Kettering College. Thank you to her friends for the long study sessions and random conversations of what happened at clinical the week before. Savannah plans to work as a registered nurse and get certified to become an aesthetic nurse. Hannah Grace Newcomer. Katie Mink. Hannah is starting her nursing career at Nationwide Children's Hospital in a step-down unit, ICU. Thank you to her amazing supportive family and friends. Their encouragement and laughter have made this experience such a blessing. Katie's professional goals include working in an ICU and pursuing further education to become a flight nurse. She wants to thank her family and friends for their support through this journey. Emma Burkett, Brandy Abley. Emma, after graduation, she plans to work the night shift in the ER at Washington Township. Brandy has accepted a position at the emergency department at Kettering Medical Center and would like to pursue her master's degree in nursing in the near future. Thank you to my husband and daughters for being such a big support during this journey. Katie Reardon and Rachel Quanti. Katie will be working at the Catherine Main Emergency Department. She would like to thank her friends and family for supporting her through school. Rachel plans to pass the NCLEX and work in the emergency department. Arlen Delgado, Hannah Kelly. Arlen plans to work as a nurse in California. She would like to thank her family and friends for their love and support throughout the nursing school journey. This would not have been possible without them. Hannah has accepted a job in labor and delivery at Catherine Main campus. It's nice to see former students pinning now. Laura Elizabeth Holliday and Victoria Weaver. Laura plans to work in the ICU and pursue furthering her education down the road. She's so thankful to have had so much support from everyone in her life during her time in school. Thank you for always rooting for me. Victoria in the future would like to go back and get her NP license. She's thankful for everyone that made getting this degree possible. Boandeep Kaur, we call her Bella, by the way. Bella has accepted a position in CTCU, Catherine Medical Center. Additionally, she aims to further continue her education to enhance her expertise and advance her career in critical care nursing. She's actually able to speak 3 languages fluently: English, Hindi, and Punjabi. Madeline Key. And Ange Omotoni Mugisha. After graduating, Maddie aims to secure a position in the NICU where she can apply and further develop the skills and knowledge gained during her studies. Her goal is to make meaningful connections and care for patients and their families, while also seeking opportunities for continuing learning and professional growth. Angie's goal is to work as an acute care nurse and continue her education later. She would like to thank God, her husband, parents, and parents-in-law, her instructors who helped her achieve her goal of becoming a nurse. Kara Marie Slider. Kara has accepted a position within Catherine Health Network and will be working at the Catherine Health Emergency Department, or Medical Surgical Department at Washington Township. She would like to thank her friends and family for continued support throughout her education at Catherine College. I wouldn't be able to do this without all of you. I personally would like to thank my mom for all her help in studying and being my #1 supporter through it all. Victoria Faulkner, Kushia Lorraine Smith. Victoria is going to continue education in psych at Walden University for their psychiatric mental health nurse practitioner MSN program. Kushia has accepted an RN position at Catherine Health main campus on 5 Northwest Step Down ICU. Kushia would like to express her heartfelt thanks to her parents. You guys are my #1 supporters, and I couldn't have made it without your help and encouragement. Shout out to my friends for all their hugs, study notes, advice, prayers, and creating amazing memories. I would also like to praise and give thanks to God for getting me through those hard times. Kaylee Ford Nelson, Evelyn Manu. Kaylee hopes to become a pediatric nurse. Evelyn, God willing, to become a godly, successful nurse and to take the message of health and healing to all places that Jesus takes me to. She would like to thank Jesus for all the people in her life, her family and friends, and to thank sweet, godly, and disciplinarian dad and mom. I love you. And my sweet and godly Aunt Vivian and her family, Grace and Uncle Gideon, for their love and prayers and caring heart. Aunt Viv, Mom, Afra, I love you. Morgan Radcliffe Bryant, Imani Hughes. Morgan has accepted a job on 5 North at Kettering Medical Center. Her ultimate goal is to become a rapid response nurse. She thanks her family, friends, and co-workers who have supported her on this journey. I love you guys. Imani wants to become the best ICU nurse she can be and hope to get her DNP. Shannon Kelly, Michael Collins. Shannon has accepted a position at Dayton Children's in the emergency department. Michael plans to work in the cardiac ICU. Kayla Nickerson, Taylor Gartz. Kayla plans to further her education and go on to become a trauma nurse practitioner. Taylor will be working at Cincinnati Children's as a float pool nurse. That completes the pinning for the BSNP and LPN to BSN students. Let's give them an applause.
Good morning, everyone. Before addressing our wonderful RN to BSN students, I want to say to my peers, thank you so much for this great surprise for this award. I was totally shocked and humbled. Thank you. There are different paths that somebody can obtain a bachelor's program here at Kettering. The next 3 students are representing 16 other students who completed their bachelor. These are nurses that are standing out. They are in the clinical field and they bring all that beautiful experience that they have into our classroom, and really truly is a blessing to hear. I have students between new grads until students that have been a nurse for 40 years and come back to get their bachelor's. This shows commitment to their lifelong learning. So the first student that will be pinned, I would like to invite Melissa Haynes. Melissa is planning to attend a MSN program and hope to go into leadership and education. She's thankful for the support of her family to help her succeed in this program. Sarah Denise. Ultimately, Sarah wants to pursue a master's and practice as a nurse practitioner. In the meantime, she plans to pursue additional certifications such as the OCN oncology certified nurse. Jeanette Lynn Ann Baldwin. She plans to advance her nursing career by pursuing further education through the VA Leadership Program and obtaining a master's degree in nursing, focusing on leadership and management in the coming years. Her commitment to lifelong learning drives her to constantly improve her skills to deliver the highest quality of care to our esteemed veterans. She would like to express profound gratitude to her husband for his constant support and encouragement through their educational journey. She is also immensely thankful to Professor Durkin for her guidance and support during her BSN program.
I invite everyone to stand in a word of prayer. God, thank you for getting all of us here to this point today. Please be with all of us new nurses as we go to take our NCLEX, prepare for our boards, and take our first step as being an RN. Please keep all of us safe in all of our travels and everything that we do. Thank you to everybody that got us to this point, and thank you for keeping your hands over all of us and getting us to where we are today. Please help us to have clean hands and pure hearts as we care for all of the patients that we take care of in our upcoming endeavor. Amen. If the audience would please be seated and wait to exit the sanctuary until all students have left.